Radicalization in the Asian and Indian context. The term radicalization came into major discourse after the 9/11 attacks in the United States of America. But the Asian region, has been facing the problems of radicalization since a very long time before the 9/11 attacks. The Asian region and the Indian subcontinent is known as a cradle of human civilization. As this region has a very long history of human civilization, it has produced a wide diversity in various aspects of human life. This diversity has also created inequality and victimization, which has in turn created grounds for radicalization. This process of radicalization has also seen a regional variation in the region and in the subcontinent. The Asian region is also diverse in the forms of state and political system. Hence, the response to tackling radicalization also differs depending upon the prevailing political systems in the country. This in turn leads to varying characteristics of radicalization in the region. It has been observed that the process of radicalization in the Asian region involves changes in attitudes, beliefs, behaviors, ideals, goals, ideologies, and willingness to bring about radical changes in society, which later becomes extreme. Radical groups in various parts of the country with diverse motives tend to attack civilian and governmental assets. Thus, understanding radicalization in the Asian region and in India and bringing an end to it has become a policy focus for governments for a long time. When we say that radicalization in India is gaining ground, we need to look at a UN report. The United Nations 26th report of the Analytical Support and Sanctions Monitoring Team concerning the Islamic State, Al Qaeda, and associated individuals and entities had pointed out significant numbers of the IS and Al Qaeda members in Kerala and Karnataka. Status of radicalization in India. The Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, has for the first time approved a research study on status of radicalization in the country. The key findings of the study are: the study will be conducted by G.S. Bajpai, Director of the Center for Criminology and Victimology, National Law University, Delhi. The study will attempt to legally define radicalization and suggest amendments to the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, that is UPA 1967. Radicalization is yet to be defined legally. This leads to the misuse by the police. Aggressive policing measures could be counterproductive, as the youth who were radicalized were misguided and not the culprits. A huge local population engulfed by systematic radicalization can create a major security challenge for the state. Instances of radicalization in India. Cases have revealed instances of internet facilitated indoctrination and active radicalization in multiple states of India. Instances of left wing extremism have grown despite the continued government intervention. Encounters, ambushes, and arrests still occur with regular frequency in the Red Corridor districts. When we look at the challenges of radicalization in India, it is also important to look at some of the models that the states in India have come up to reduce the intensity of radicalization. In this, we need to look at the Maharashtra model. The Maharashtra government has rolled out a de radicalization program for the minority community to counter both homegrown extremism, and the global Islamic State threat. The plan has been chalked out by the State Home Department of the Government of Maharashtra that includes a 50-point socio-economic strategy. De-radicalization is a process in which people reject the ideology they once embraced. This is a step further than disengagement, characterized by a change in behavior, leaving the radical group stopping violence without giving up. This has been the major focus of the Maharashtra model of de-radicalization. The factors behind radicalization in India. Individual socio-psychological factors, which include grievances and emotions such as alienation and exclusion, anger and frustration, and a strong sense of injustice. Political factors, which include weak and non participatory political systems, lacking good governance and regard for civil society. The socio-economical factors, which include social exclusion, marginalization, and discrimination, real or perceived, limited education or employment, etc. The social media, which provide connectivity, virtual participation, and an echo chamber for like-minded extremist views, accelerates the process of radicalization. When we look at the radicalization in India, the status of radicalization, now it is important for us to understand that what are the possible way forwards for India in tackling radicalization. At the primary level, the government needs to reinvest in educational institutions. The aim should be decrease prejudices, stereotyping, and discrimination, and to increase knowledge about democracy. Collective sports and citizens program based on exchanges have been found helpful. The success of Kerala and Maharashtra programs of de-radicalization indicates how community-based programs may work in vulnerable states. The disaffected youth with no real job prospects and limited futures are vulnerable. The war on terror is to be countered more in the human mind and requires different skills and tactics. When we look at the radicalization in India, it is also important to understand that the Indian approach has been to counter radicalization not just by the repressive measures but the preemptive and preventive measures, where the human rights, the fundamental rights are taken into consideration, and then a empathic model has been developed and an overall approach where the rule of law, the democratic rights, and the human and natural rights are taken into consideration and an effective ways and means are developed. Thank you.